What is going on, everyone? Chris with Jerno's Comics and Pop Culture. It is Friday, so here we are again, Friday Night Live. Thank you for everyone that's already hanging out. Beach Nerd, Dan's in the house. So, man, what a week, at least for me. Let's take a couple minutes to let some folks get in here. For those watching on the rewind, if you guys haven't checked out all the awesome links below, make sure you do that. Of course, pre-show to Comic Book Canon Live tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Some really fun stuff to talk about tonight on Comic Book Canon because of all the announcements last week. It really changed the game for the books that were hot this week. So I'm excited to talk about my top 3 picks of the week on Comic Book Canon. But here we are now. Isaac, what's going on, man? Yeah, so we got some announcements. Do, we got some announcements, some channel announcements. And then I'll answer some questions. Hernani, what's going on, guys? I got a box to open up as well. Not too sure what's in that guy. Man, yeah, and we are 1 week from Christmas, guys. Can you believe that already? What a year, right? We got 2 more weeks of 2020. Oh man, it seems like the beginning of all this pandemic stuff was so long ago, but at the same time, it's just it seems like yesterday. You know how that works sometimes. But Will, what is going on? Pedro, what's up? So we'll take another minute here, guys, to let a few more folks get in before I start ranting about some random crap like I always do. No, just kidding. So, but anyways, I really hope everyone is healthy and staying safe. I know it's getting crazy out there, but I just want everyone to be healthy and well for the holidays, man. So, yeah, absolutely. Again, guys, if you haven't checked out the links below, please do so. Official Jerno's Comics merch. Thank you to everyone that's purchased some merch so far to support the channel. If you guys do purchase merch, I would enjoy seeing you guys rocking your Jerno's Comics merch on Instagram or whatever, and you can tag me in it or hashtag, Jerno's Comics, whatever. I would love to see you guys, supporting. Appreciate all of you for doing that. Of course, we have the patreon.com, $3.99 a month. Link is below. We are inching closer to our first Patreon only contest, and of course there will be other contests down the road as well. That's one perk of being a Patreon supporter. We are actually we took Joe G, who was the winner of the second place prize, to my 3K sub contest, and he paid it forward and was donating it to another entry, and we did the randomizer again, and the individual that won it again never contacted me. So we ran the randomizer again, and we have a new winner. And I'm happy to say that winner is somebody that's a regular on the Friday night show here and on the Comic Book Canon. So we are going to announce the winner again on Comic Book Canon tonight. And I think this time this winner will be it, because I know this individual usually is at least in the chat. If they're not tonight, I know we'll be in touch with them. So really happy to finally get a home for the second place prize for my 3K sub contest, right? All right, Will's in the house. Beechner, Phil, what is going on, Phil? So all right, guys. Like I said, I got a box to open, a couple things to talk about, but then let's talk about some channel updates. First off, I want to give a big shout out to a new patron on my Patreon. I got his name right here. Just give me a minute. Big shout out to Joshua K. Thank you. If you're watching right now, big thank you for supporting the channel. And for all my patrons, don't forget to, leave questions for me on Patreon for my Q&A at the end of the month. I know I got a decent amount of questions already. And then, I'm still going to be doing another video. I got some awesome suggestions. And also, guys, okay, not just my patrons, but everyone viewing. Next week, I got an awesome spec video. I put so much work into it, guys. I put hours and hours and hours of work into it, literally. And so my patrons are going to get early access to that, most likely this weekend, maybe as early as tomorrow. And then my regular viewers, it'll be on my channel for the public probably by Monday, the latest. Look out for that. It's actually the first of a series of spec videos. All right, so I'm really excited about that. But these types of videos, I like to take my time and really, you know, put a lot of work into them. Connor, what's going on? Myth Lab, what's up, guys? All right, so, okay. Speaking of Patreon, I do want to say that we are, we got one new patron this week. We got a few more to go before we do the first Patreon-only subscriber, or excuse me, Patreon-only contest. All right. And again, Dan's in the house. I saw him, who donated this as part of the prize, that Tell Us to Astonish, number 91. Hey, how about Abomination? How about Tim Roth coming back in the MCU as Abomination? I can't wait. It's so funny because me and my son were just talking about that like a week before they announced that. Like, man, I'd like to see Tim Roth come back. And I like Tim Roth, man. That's my guy. You guys ever see Gridlock with Tupac? Great movie. Great movie. If you haven't seen that movie yet, with Thandie Newton, Tupac, and Tim Roth, you guys got to see that. It's a great movie. Great soundtrack too. All right, so that's one area. Again, guys, if you haven't checked out the patreon.com link, check it out. You know, if you guys just check it out, see what it has to offer, and maybe you guys will be willing to support the channel just from $3.99 a month, the price of a new comic book. I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 13 patrons right now. So you guys, man, I just, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you all so much. It's already, you know, helped this channel grow in more ways than I can, you know, just get out in words right now. So let's also talk about this week. So this last week, I did a lot of videos answering questions. So, you know, and I posted on Instagram how I got a year in review, and I hit up like 11,000 comments that I responded to. And I shared that, just saying, you know, I really hope everyone knows that this is, I always say that this is a two-way relationship. You know, you guys are as much a part of this channel as I am sitting here and, you know, making sure that I'm reading your guys' comments and responding when I can. You guys add so much to this channel because I took so many questions, and almost every video I did this week was answering your guys' questions. So I just want to say thank you, you know, for allowing me to interact with you guys. And it's a way to create more and more content, you know, and it helps me answer questions to how to, you know, maybe drop some educational information to newer collectors or collectors that don't know one thing or another. I really appreciate that, guys. I really do. So Isaac, what's up, Isaac? He says, do you think a lightsaber can cut through? I think we already talked about this. Can a lightsaber cut through Captain America's shield? I don't know what I said. I know that I think you asked me this some months back or a long time ago, but I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna have to say yes, as much as I love Cap, but yeah. So let's see. Connor, appreciate the support, man. Appreciate it. Absolutely. All right. So what do you guys want to do? You want me to open this box right now? I don't really know what's in here. It's from Midtown. So I'm gonna assume that it's my remaining like 2 books from my February previews order that I still haven't got yet. You know, half of them have been canceled and they didn't give me my money back. So I won't even talk about that. But why not? Let's go ahead and open this, guys. I got my trusty knife. I get so many comments like, man, Jerno, you got that knife scares me, man. I'm like, this is my knife, man. What is it? It's like a As Seen on TV. It's really sharp though. I'm telling you. I have a set of them. Really good for cutting veggies and opening boxes. All right. All right, what do we got? I really hope this is the last because like I said, guys, I'm not doing previews orders from Midtown anymore. I hit their dollar or their 75% off sale, and they sent me a book that was like ripped to shreds. Wow. Oh yeah. All right. What do we got? Well, it looks like it's only 2 books. I don't know why they put it in that big old box, but that's okay. I've never really had a problem with Midtown's packaging, you know, but them sent. Oh, heck yeah, that's right. I got these from Midtown because I was trying to get them from wherever I could. All right, guys, I have 2 books. Louis, what's going on? Will, did I paint the knife red? No, actually, the set came. One was red, one was like a teal, one was purple, one was blue. Yeah. All right, guys, who wants to guess what this can be? 2 books, and they're the same book. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this. Miguel Poole in the house. What's up? I for sure thought Bishner was gonna guess that it was more Warlock in the Infinity Watch #1s. All right, guys, I'll give you a hint. It's in this type of bag in board. I wonder what that can be. And there's 2 of them. Let's see if I get anything in the comment. All right, I'm going to pull one out while I'm looking at the comments here. I'm going to take my time. Get a look at it myself. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Nicholas, Jersey in the house, man. Devo, what's going? Devo! Bing, 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 bing. Last Ronin, #1, second print. Yes. Man, I wish I would have waited to read my first print. Or waited to not read my first print because, you know, I did on one of the Comic Book Canada shows, I was explaining how I read the book, and I was like this because I didn't want to like crease the, you know, the spine there. So I'm like, you know, there it is. Yes. I got yeah, Connor got it. I got 2 copies here. They actually sent these in Mylar. I'm impressed. Hey, look, I have my issues with Midtown right now, but I will say I'm impressed that they sent these in actual Mylar. That's cool, man. Although I'm not impressed with this black stain that's on the cover of this book. Right there in the eye. I don't know if you guys can, you probably can't see that, but there's a look at that right there. Like, really? Come on now. I want my 9.8s. I'm going to have to take a cotton ball to that to see if it'll come out. Beautiful, beautiful though, guys. I'm so happy to have 2 of these books. All right. Razmeen, what's going on? Yeah, 3rd printing coming out too. Might have to get at least one of those. All right, super happy to have these guys along with my you know, first print right there. Man, I love it. I can't wait for issue 2. I can't wait to keep reading to see what's going on. So, all right, guys, we are about 1 hour and 16 minutes away from Comic Book Canon. I'm really excited. Not a lot of news, but definitely some fun and interesting news. But I'm excited for the top 10 this week. I'm super excited for the top 10. Obviously, you know, Jeff and I talked about on the Canon last week about how all those announcements are going to impact it. Another thing that I have here, guys, is books that I'll be showing off for our segment Fresh from the Comic Shop. So I got some awesome books here. I won't give any sneak peeks for these. You know, you guys will have to wait and see what I got there. I do want to give another big shout out to A1 Comics, guys. Their link is below as well. I've hit 3 of their 50% off back issue sales over the last few weeks. I made videos on them. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. And I'm just extremely, extremely happy with the things I picked up. I'm still rebagging and boarding a whole bunch of stuff, but I grabbed some awesome, you know, Bronze Age run fillers and whatnot. for a lot of things. Got some sensational She-Hulk. But yeah, go check out those videos if you haven't yet, guys. So I wanted to, and guys, if you have any questions you want me to ask, go ahead and shoot in the comments. Let's see, what would the stain make it more worth something? Absolutely not. Unless it was like a defect or something, and it like not a defect, excuse me, like a printing error. Sometimes printing errors will, be sought after and could drive the value up, but it just looks like a look, really funny thing about Midtown. And this is for anyone that is thinking about ordering from them. The books that even when I would do my previews and get all new books, there was usually this black soot feeling stuff in the bags and on the boards and sometimes on the books. I don't know if they keep their books, their warehouse is like, dusty and like, I don't know, is it like in a welding shop or something? Like, I don't know where they're storing their books, but it's really strange. And I even called them one time and was telling them about it. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but there's this black film that's sometimes on the bags of boards and sometimes on the books. It's like, oh yeah, we know about that. But he didn't give me like, okay, so you know about it. What are you doing about it? Very strange, guys. I'm telling you, right now on my comic shop all the way, especially for pre-ordering. So I get my previews pre-orders from my comic shop, but I've been doing some pre-orders from State of Comics. Ryan, the owner, is just a really awesome dude. That's out in the Midwest in Michigan, I believe. And so State of Comics, their link is below, guys. Go check them out. I actually ordered my Last Ronin #2 and #3 pre-orders from State of Comics. So that's another really great shop. And no matter where you are in the States, you can check them out and order online. So really cool stuff. Poor Mike, what's going on? The Star Wars guy, you must be really excited about all the Star Wars announcements that have been happening. And even after last week's Star Wars announcement, we got another one. Oh, by the way, guys, no Mandalorian spoilers in the comments, please. I have not watched the season finale yet. When I'm done here and done with comic book canon, only then can I go watch Mandalorian. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I'm seeing some stuff and I'm like, I need to not look at Instagram today. Nope. Because I don't want any spoilers whatsoever. Ruben says, what are your thoughts on the Rick and Morty comics? I really don't have any thoughts on the Rick and Morty comics because I don't own any, but my kids love Rick and Morty, and I do believe they own some. And I've watched some Rick and Morty and enjoyed it. So, but I just, from an outsider looking in, I really like, like the Adventure Time and the Rick and Morty stuff. And I believe those are both, IDW, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's a great way to get younger readers, and not like young, not like 5, 6, 7-year-olds, but that preteen to the young teenagers into reading comics, because those shows were obviously hits, for sure. So let's see. Phil is saying I'll be surprised. I'm assuming he's talking about Mandalorian. I think, guys, I'm telling you, I think I don't know if I'm going to be as surprised as maybe I should be, because I think I already have an idea of what happens. I think there's possibly 2 things that are going to happen, and I think either both of them are going to happen or one or the other is going to happen, and I have a feeling that I'm onto something, but we'll see. I'll admit it and come back when maybe next week we'll talk about that. Connor says, I would grab as many as I could if I didn't have to pay bills. Unfortunately, as a human, I have to eat. It ruins me. Absolutely. Everything in moderation. We have to make sure that we are handling our responsibilities first and foremost. Yeah, Nicholas says, Mandalorian was amazing. All right. So, Phil, I'm not going to say, okay, look, this is what I'll say, because I don't want to say what I'm going to say and have somebody slip up in the comments, say, yeah, you're right. But I think one of it has to do with Mando himself. Something with Mando himself. That's all I'm going to say. And a second thing is a Jedi. Those are my 2 guesses. And that's all I will say. I don't want you guys to say, hey, you're close or you're warm. Don't even nothing. We'll leave it at that, okay? Jimmy G. Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo in the house. He says, love my comic shop dollar page. Yeah, I'll throw some dollar books in here and there from there for sure. Yeah, I love to meet Mark Hamill too. He seems just like a really cool and fun dude for sure. Ruben says, if you could sell all your comics for your one grail, what would that be? Honestly, I can't really say at the top of my head because first off, I would have to gauge the value of my entire collection. But honestly, I probably wouldn't because I would have to say like a decent grade Amazing Fantasy 15 and not like a 9.8 or something. I don't think my collection's worth that much. I really don't know off the top of my head, but Amazing Fantasy 15. Yep. But it would have to be worth it because I'm really not into that. I'm really not like, oh, the one grail. Like my collection is my collection and I'm happy with every single book that I have as much as I would like in Amazing Fantasy 15. I don't want to give up what I have, for that. But I mean, hey, it's something to ponder for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I do know about an end credit scene. I do. I don't know too much of what's happening, but I do know that. So thank you, Nicholas. Let's see. Ever see the clip where Hamill plays out Luke beating the Joker or meeting the Joker or something? I don't think I have. I'll have to Google that. That would be awesome. Star Wars guy says, do you think the Punisher will come back in Daredevil someday on film? Well, we already have what seems to be credible. God, guys, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, I haven't eaten much today. We have credible sources saying that Charlie Cox is coming back to the MCU and we are going to see him in Spider-Man 3. It hasn't been confirmed, but credible sources have reported it. When it comes to John Berthal, I believe so. I believe so. I mean, look, The Punisher is such a cult following. That show was really a success in my opinion, and he played it so well. There's no reason to recast. It's just same with Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Absolutely not. So I'm going to sit here and say I am 100% certain. I'm 100% certain that Charlie Cox and John Berthal are going to come back as their respective characters, Punisher and Daredevil, in the MCU on film and in the Disney Plus shows. Absolutely. That's my take. Brian, what's going on, man? I loved your Batman video. Much love from Dallas. I appreciate it, guys. And I want to address something, guys. So I made a video yesterday, and I was poking a little fun. For you guys that saw, maybe you saw the thumbnail, the Captain America. So you got detention. Most of us know that that's like a meme. It's used so much in meme form. And I kind of made a meme for a thumbnail, and I said, so the new Batman is black. And, what really inspired that video was that since the reveal that Tim Fox is going to be Future State's Batman, I'm involved in so many Facebook comic book groups and whatnot. And, you look at, on Twitter and Instagram. And I just, once again, it's just something that brought out so much disgusting hatred. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I lost at least 15 subscribers yesterday. I lost at least. Now, when I say at least, it's because I can count down how many came down, but I also gained subscribers every day. And I don't see exactly new subscribers as they come. So I know that I lost at least 15. I could have lost more. And it's hilarious to me because I did this video and I just said, look, I understand that people are stuck in their ways when it comes to, but Bruce Wayne's my own man. Because my only buddy, nothing to do with skin, something like that. I get that. I get that, right? But you can't deny that there's so much ugly hatred and just nastiness around this because we know why. And I didn't even really state it in the video because it doesn't need to be stated. It's known. And I didn't even dive into politics, or I didn't make it this big political statement. I just said, look, guys, read the book and make your judgment there. Or if it's not for you, find something that's for you. That's the beauty about comic books. Every single comic book that comes out every single week since the 1930s or even before the superhero genre, not every comic book was for everyone. Okay? As a comic book enthusiast or hobbyist or collector or reader, whatever case may be, there is something there for you. And I'm tired of the ugliness coming out because it's not for you. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. If it's not for you, go buy what you want to buy and enjoy that, and let other people enjoy what they want to enjoy. And I lost subscribers. And not just a couple. It was a lot. And, I will say, it saddens me to a level because, look, I am someone that prides myself in the ability to bring people together and unite people, right? I don't believe in party politics, although I'm very stern on humanity and humility and equality and whatnot, right? I'm all about empathy and compassion as a human being. I don't like ugliness when it comes from any political standpoint, any race, any gender, any creed or religious belief. And I've used comic books in my personal life, and I use this channel to bring people together. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you pray to. We come here, and as long as we are respectful and we are decent human beings, that's what matters. And that's what comic books at their core are supposed to do, right? Leave your biases and all that at the door. And I always say this too. If we focus on that where we are similar, we will realize that we are more similar than where we are different. And for me to lose so many subscribers just by posting that video, at the end of the day, good riddance. If that's where I don't care, because I don't want your support. If that's the case, if that's gonna, rile your nerves or anger you so much that I said, like the character or not, stop hating things because of prejudice biases. If that's going to make you unsubscribe from my channel, have a great life. And that's all I have to say to that. And I know and I always say this, it's a small minority. It's a small minority, and sometimes they tend to be the loudest. But I just want to say I really appreciate each and every one of you that continue to support. Speaking of that, Black Sheep Comics, JLS in the house. And I know for a fact that I have viewers. Look, I already said I don't want to get too much into politics, right? But I already know that I have some really good friends in this community that are extremely liberal, and some other ones that are extremely conservative. I'm not extremely anything. And sometimes I scratch my head when I see some of them. I'm like, oh. I welcome each and every one of you for who you are. And if I ever talk about things that you disagree with, you know me, I'm a passionate person, right? I get passionate, but don't ever mistake my passion for disrespect or, an argument that isn't just a respectful debate. When I say argument, I don't mean argument like we're yelling and screaming at each other. I mean like a educated back and forth debate. Okay. And I will always, stress my viewpoints and be passionate and get into a conversation with you. But at the end of the day, if we disagree and we at least try to approach it respectfully, I'll say, look, this is where we will agree to disagree. And I respect that. I don't agree, but maybe I'll catch you on the next video and we'll agree about the new, Spider-Man book or something like that. Right. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. So, guys, we are in a time right now with COVID, and everything and all the ugliness in the world, where I want to continue to stand here in a community that gives so much back to me, that I feel like I want to continue to give back to you guys, where when I see all you guys commenting in like, I know for a fact I have folks of different ethnicities and in skin color, and folks of different political beliefs, different genders, although, I know we're a man heavy community, but it's always good to, get, women into the hobby and engaged in the hobby and in this community. I know that you guys have different political beliefs. I know you guys have different religious beliefs, but yet we are all here. We are all here hanging out. We're excited. We're excited about unboxing the new Last Ronin. We're excited about all the Disney Plus announcements and Star Wars announcements, and maybe DCEU is finally gonna pick up steam and compete with the MCU. This is what we're excited about, and I want us all to remember that. Okay, and look, if you don't like the new Batman because you believe only Bruce Wayne should be Batman ever, I have no qualm with you. But if you find yourself hating it just because of somebody's skin color, all I ask of you is to respect people that disagree with you. That's it. I'm not even trying to convince you otherwise. I just want you to be a decent human being. Have an open ear to other people's opinions. You may still not agree, but leave it at that. Be a decent human being and close the door, shaking hands, giving hugs, saying, well, I'll see you tomorrow still. It's that simple, guys. So I'm going to end my rant there on that. I want to look through. Black Sheep said something here that I saw that I want to he said, that's exactly why I always come back. You look tough. It's scary, but actually seem like it down here. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. I do. No, I'm a very sensitive human being. I have some rough edges because of how I grew up and all, but yeah. And then Black said, we'll have your bad brother for that. I appreciate it. Dan says, I care about story content. Yes. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. And that's what it boils down to, guys. It really boils down to, God, is this a horrible story? Or maybe even the art, right? I mean, we could complain. It could be a good story with bad art. But, that's one thing I always say to people. It's like, bad art has been around forever. And I know right now, because I was reading some of the early X Factor books, and I'm like, this art is so boring and garbage. But the story was cool, I was wanting to know what happened yet. Bishner, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and you know what, Razmin, this, I will say what I want. But with that being, and I'm not gonna ever censor myself. But with that being said, I pride myself on presenting myself in a way that's welcoming to all people, right? Swaggle Haas, what's going on, man? Hey, Swaggle Haas, man. Hey guys, I want to give a big shout out to Swaggle Haas. I would say one thing, sub everyone up that's another content creator, guys. If there's content creators in the chat, go sub them up. And I know Swaggle Haas is a content creator. If you're not subbed to him, go check him out. I keep seeing all of his posts. I've checked out a couple of his videos, but Swagos, I just want to recognize you and say, man, keep up the good work. Every time I see your thumbnails, I'm like, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. But I get so busy and it's hard to keep up because there's a lot of good content out there. Brian, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Star Wars guys. Let's see. J.R. Ramirez, shout out from San Antonio, Texas. Love your content. New sub. Question: what are the books to get for the Sinister Six? Much appreciated. Okay. All right. I'll answer this in two ways, J.R. First thing I can say is just look, do some Googling, guys. Google is our friends. And guys, we are going to have to wrap up here in a few minutes, but I want to at least get through some of these comments. Google is your friend. Okay, especially when it comes to comic book stuff. It's not like you're trying to write of a dissertation for law school or college or something, right? Google is your friend. I would just Google some history on Sinister Six, find out first appearances and stuff like that. Now, obviously, there was different iterations of the Sinister Six throughout time. So look at the characters that we have already been introduced to, like the Shocker, you know, and whatnot in the MCU, and see how those can be things that are spec'd on. But I will say this also, JR. I will have a video answering these questions, hopefully by the end of next week. We're going to talk heavily about Spider-Man in the MCU and spec. All right. JLS, opinions are not fact. Yes. Sorry, I had to. I love it. I love it. I don't know exactly to what context that was now, but I want to get a shirt. I want to get a shirt that says opinions are not facts. That's because it's just, I love that statement. Absolutely. All right, where are we at? No. I did not watch the new Mandalorian episode yet. I can't wait. After the canon, though, tonight. Oh, Dan says, I doubt my wife will ever join this comic community. I know, Dan. It sucks. I understand being a musician, wanting that support. I understand being a comic book collector, wanting that support. So I feel you. But I just hope there's support and you know, other areas that matter as well. But yeah, I hear you. All right, let's try to get through maybe a few more questions here. If you create your own comic book character, what would it be? Okay, Star Wars guy. When I was in elementary school, I had a friend. He and I would create our own comic book characters. My first ever comic book character that I ever created was Clockman. Clockman. He was a clock. I don't know what kind of superpowers he had, but he was a clock. My second one I created was Tidal Wave. Actually, Tidal Wave was really cool. Yeah, I did a whole miniseries. I actually have them still. Maybe I'll show them off one day. Tidal Wave. I did another character. Tidal Wave was a bad guy. I did another character called the Juggler. Yeah, he was I would probably say kind of like a mix between, like, I don't know, he created things like out of his hands and juggled them and would throw them, so a mix between kind of like Dazzler and Gambit maybe. So yeah, now I don't know creating one now. I'd probably create kind of like an anti-hero. And I don't even know if they would necessarily have superpowers. But that would be kind of my approach currently, guys. So, all right, guys, let's 3 more minutes here. Let's see. Rasmeen says, "Am I the only woman on here?" Oh no. There's a few that come and hang out too. I know Larissa supports the channel. I know JoJo Flicks and Comics. She comes and hangs out. When she's not working her butt off, she's always super busy. Let's see. What's the next big reel? Oh, Isaac. The next key that I might want to like put on a want list is Werewolf by Night 32. That's definitely one. That's definitely one. That's the one I could think of off the top of my head. But man, that book, wow. Let's see. Blashy says, question, your opinion on the prices of the Tales to Astonish getting the respect they deserve. Look, yes, I think you see, I've always said this about Tales to Astonish and even with Strange Tales. I think those are 2 runs that have been heavily overlooked over the years and undervalued. And I think that's changing. I think part of it is due to obviously the MCU. But I also think a part of it, possibly at least within the last year, is COVID, you know, and I think a lot of collectors are becoming more educated, and of course they have more time on their hands to explore. And I think those are not all the elements, but 2 of the elements that have helped that out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Brian, absolutely, man. You know, and look, I'll say one more thing about Future State. Regardless of color of skin or all this stuff, you know, they're basically recycling characters. There's a new Future Flash. There's a Future Batman. There's a Future Wonder Woman. And you guys got to understand, look, and you can't be sitting on both sides of the fence here and be a double standard and a hypocrite. You guys want the characters to stay the same. You know, you don't want anyone to replace Bruce Wayne or Peter Parker, all these characters. They're still there and they're doing that. But you also don't want these stories to stay stale. So how do you make it fresh? Well, let's test the waters with an alternate future. And look, if it was in reality, these folks, they get old. These people would get old. So look, it's a 2-month alternate reality of, say, hey, hypothetically, it's like a what if, guys. I said that in my video yesterday. It's like a what if. What if Iron Man became a traitor? You know, what if Peter Parker married the Black Cat instead of MJ? Like, these are what ifs. You know, Batman gets old and you know, his close friend's son picks up the mantle. He just wears the suit. And then we're back to our original titles of Bruce Wayne being Batman. So I just had to throw that out there. Let's see if I can get to maybe 1 or 2 more comments, guys. Let's see. Davo says, I'm speculating on Darth Talon to one day make it to the movies. Yes. So I bought some books today with her on the cover. I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm not speculating. I'm not buying, but I want to see that happen. I want to see that happen. Absolutely. Clockman, analog or digital? Hernani says analog. Absolutely. Analog. Louis, let's see. Star Wars guy. All right, guys. I think I'm caught up on the comments. All right, guys. In close, again, thank you all. We are, man, Jeff's gonna, I hope he's not waiting on me. I ran a little bit late with you guys. I got to hop over to do a pre-show with Jeff. And look, I just want to say again, let me get a little sip of water. I want to say again to all of you guys, I appreciate all your guys' support. And I want to keep encouraging all of us to love what we can about this hobby and keep enjoying it. Nothing's ever perfect, you know. Let's just keep being good to each other. Let's keep being decent human beings. We need that right now. We absolutely need that right now in the world. You know, everything else doesn't matter. You know, we got to be respectful of one another, at least to the bare minimum. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate the continued support. Again, Comic Book Canon, just over 45 minutes away. Again, guys, if you haven't checked out my Patreon link below, help support the channel. $3.99 a month is all. You get 2 exclusive videos. One of those is a patron-only Q&A. The other one is basically a recommended video. I'll take your recommendations and I'll create a video that speaks to one of those. And those will be exclusive videos. You guys get early access to certain videos that I do make public on my Jerno's channel, mostly like spec book videos or investing videos. You'll get early access to. And I will, you know, there'll be contests where we're running our first contest still, just so we can get enough patrons in the channel. We have 13 right now. I'm going to run the first one at 20, and then I'll be doing patron-only contests, you know, randomly throughout the months. And look, I'm only a couple months into the Patreon, so I will be, you know, growing and expanding that in everything that you guys do. I'm trying to take every penny that I get via Patreon and invest it back into the channel. So with my first month's payments, I bought this. I showed this off. I'm just going to do it again. I bought my photo editor, Adobe Premiere Elements. It was on sale for Black Friday, and that's what my Patreon's members bought for the channel, and it's going to help all of you because I put that back into my YouTube Jerno's Comics channel. So, yeah, guys, again, appreciate all of you. Joe G, appreciate you guys, man. All right, guys, that's it for today. Again, 46 minutes away from Comic Book Canon. Links below, guys. I'll see you over there. Peace.